There's nothing like cracking that cellophane and pulling that record out. It just smells great.
Welcome to BODS Mayhem Hour.
Non-stop hardcore energy.
I love the show, guys. You're awesome.
Unlike any other.
With your host, John the Bod, a.k.a. the Bodfather.
Man, this stuff rocks.
What's up? This is Chigger from the band Rahway, and you're listening to BODS Mayhem Hour.
The views and opinions of the guests do not necessarily reflect the views and opinions of BODS Mayhem Hour, its staff, affiliates, or sponsors. Parental discretion is advised. Welcome to BODS Mayhem Hour.
Hey everybody, welcome to BODS Mayhem Hour. I am your host, John the Bod, aka the Bodfather, and as always, I'm bringing you guys and gals awesome interviews. Today, it's an honor and a huge privilege to welcome bassist Tim Louie, aka Chigger of Rahway, and Rahway has released their new single entitled Rocketship. Also, check out single Carry You. And Rahway's 6-song EP is slated for an autumn release later this year. And if you have not heard Rocketship right now, folks, do yourself a favor, go out and check this out because this is really good. And I'm not saying it because Chigger's on here or anything like that. I'm just saying it because it's the God's honest truth. This is a banger of a song, and you guys did really good on this, man. So welcome to the podcast.
Thank you. I endorse that message too. That's phenomenal. Thank you.
So how excited are you to have these new singles, Rocketship and Carry You, out at this time? And how good does it feel to finally get some new stuff out for you all?
It's awesome. We've had some momentum going from our last EP, Slumlords in New Jersey, and then we just hunkered down and started writing some new material, and we're just really happy to get it out there finally. It's been a labor of love. Carry You, when we released that, we didn't expect the audience just taking to it. We didn't really expect that it was going to take off like that, and then we release Rocketship on the advisement of some people who said that this hook is just amazing. You got to release this song. So we did, and it's taken off like a rocket ship. We released it on June 9th, and it's already got over 20,000 streams on Spotify. The video has got over like 2,000 views already, which for an unsigned band, that's pretty good.
Like I said, man, these two songs right now are really good bangers. I like them, and I cannot wait till this EP comes out. So how special is it going to have another EP in the Rahway music library and still be able to carry on with your music? Because we both know it's very hard for bands to even put out 2 EPs, let alone 1 album.
Right. Yeah, no, to be honest with you, these last 2 EPs, Slumlords in New Jersey, and this next one's going to be called Sounds of Spanktown, tentatively titled right now. So the idea behind the title of this CD is that Spanktown was the name of Rahway, the city of Rahway, during the Revolutionary War period.
Oh.
So if you know the guys in my band, we're jokesters, so calling it Spanktown is just like kind of funny, but it's got a historical background to it. But for me, as a musician, I've been playing for years and years and years as a bass player for many rock bands. And, these are definitely the 2 of the best EPs that I've ever played on. I don't know if it's the guys that I'm playing with, or just the chemistry that we have together as a band. It's just, everything just seems to be flowing together right now.
Sometimes you have to stray away, man, and finally, when you hit that nucleus, that's, when it's the right pieces. And sometimes it takes 10, 15 years to find those right pieces, sadly. But hey, I think you guys are on the right track on what you're all going to do.
Yeah, I hope so. I mean, the writing's coming together. When I first joined the band, the guys had like an 80s feel to them. They probably won't agree, but I'd like to say that I brought a more of a modern feel to the songwriting. I definitely bring the balls. That's for sure.
We got a lot more to talk about this, especially how this band came together and all this good stuff. So we're going to get into that here in just a little bit. But how's the fans' feedback been on these releases so far, on these singles? And have they said like, trim this, or no, this is perfect, keep doing what you're doing with these 2 singles?
Nothing but positive. I haven't heard anything negative about it. In fact, it's just everything is a catalyst to something else. And you know, with Carry You, it just was opening more ears than we've ever had before. And people are starting to come out of the woodwork saying, hey, we want to work with you on this. We want to work with you on this. We, in fact, when I just got back from vacation, we went and shot a new video for the next single already after Rocketship. And I can't wait for you guys to see this video. If you like Rocketship, this one's going to blow you away.
I know this is going to be a crazy question, and I know you guys have been doing this for a long time, and this is your second EP getting ready to come out, but do you feel like this band has hit its stride, or the direction of sound that you guys want to do from here on out, or do you still want to push that envelope?
We're constantly pushing that envelope. I mean, if you look at Rocketship is not anything that we've written before. We're diverse. We're trying to be as diverse as possible. There are some songs that our drummer's written that were just like, well, let's write it. Let's see. It's like you're throwing baloney up against the wall and see what sticks, right? So sometimes it sticks and sometimes it doesn't. But the last few songs that we've written have just stuck. We how bands, they write like 30 songs and they go, oh, we'll take the best 10. We're just writing songs, and these have been, we haven't cut anything. We seriously have not cut anything.
Oh, so wow.
We've hit our, like you said, we've hit our stride. We're just pushing the envelope constantly, trying to see what sticks. And it seems like everything has been sticking, which is a good place for us right now. So
Rocketship and Carry You was produced by Mike Orlando of Adrenaline Mob. And I wish those guys were still kicking ass. And go check them out. Mike's a phenomenal guitar player. If you've not heard him, just go listen to him. And also David Cardenas of Rahway, your bandmate. How's it working with these guys, and especially, David Cardenas as a co-producer versus bandmate? Is he wearing the two different hats, or what's going on?
Well, the good thing about Dave is that when he's in there, when he was in there just cutting things up, I wasn't there, so I don't. He would call me. He's like, hey, listen to the songs. If you have any edits, just let me know. So we'd all send him a list of edits, and he'd sit in there with Mike. Mike, phenomenal ear, really easy to work with. I love working with him, and if he hears things that I'm not hearing, he'll just say, hey, Chig, play this, and he knows my style. If you get to check out Mike's other band, he's actually playing in a band now called Nocturnal from South America. Unbelievable band. But he's got a lot of projects. He's got a lot of things going on, Mike.
Oh, he's got a lot of irons in the fire, that's for sure.
Yeah. He's there's a lot of things that are going to be coming out that you're going to say, wow, Mike Orlando's really, really good guitar player. But him and Dave complement each other because Dave's a guitar player as well. And they, when they're in the studio together, co-producing the CD, Dave knows what he wants. Dave wrote half the songs, so he knows what he wants. He knows what parts he wants. He'll go in and tell Nick, our singer, you got to sing it this way, or no, I don't like the way you're singing it here. Redo it. Dave's a stickler like that. I wasn't in there for those, but I know that he was in there pretty much directing everything, and that's what we needed.
So do you think working with Mike and plus having David in the band and plus doing this recording and everything, do you think that they've got something out of you all that maybe somebody else might not have gotten? Possibly, did they push those right buttons to get that extra effort out of you all?
Yeah, I think so. I think because Mike is a obviously, like I said, accomplished guitar player, so he knows what me and Dave want, and he pulls it out of us. To be honest with you, like the guitar solos that Dave was playing on Slum Lords of New Jersey and this record, I don't think I've ever played with anybody that played like that. So it's phenomenal. I mean, I'm a big Dimebag Darrell fan, and Dave. I'm not gonna say he's gonna hold the candle to him, but he's got this tone and this sound that just Dime would be proud. Dave was a big Mick Mars fan too, so he's got that razor sharp tone on that guitar, and that's what I love.
So how long have you guys been writing on this new EP? How long have you guys been putting songs together out for it? How long have you guys been writing on it?
Some of these songs have been maybe like 5 or 6 years old. For the most part, four, five, actually five sixths of the CD was all written recently. I'd say maybe 2 or 3 years old.
Jeez. And I love hearing those backstories because people think, and sometimes this does happen. They think, oh, we just wrote this in like in a month's time. And when you find out like there's a 10-year-old song on that album, it's like, what?
Yeah.
Why? How?
Well, we have a song on there called Cage the Animal. And we recorded it in our own studio with our singer Nick producing it. And for some reason, the timing was off. And these guys are always saying, hey, I bet you if we did this with Mike, it would sound better. We did it with Mike, and it sounds pretty freaking good. So, I hope people will like that as well. I'm trying to see if we could push it towards like the WWE or something like that, or something with UFC, because Cage the Animal would be a perfect intro song for one of the wrestlers or fighters.
How much is written so far for this new EP? Is everything completed? Just wrapping it up right now?
We're done. It's done. It's all in the can. We're ready to go. It's 6 songs. You've heard 2 of them already. There's 4 more that you haven't heard yet. I might be a nice guy and send you the upcoming video because it looks awesome.
Send it, Chigger. Don't do me that way, damn it.
You'll love it. I think you're gonna love it, especially if you love heavy music.
Yeah,
I think you'll really like it.
Yeah. I like I said, these 2 songs. They put me in mind of early 90s heavy stuff, but yet it still has that new flavor of sound that's entitled for the day. I have no problem with these songs, and if anybody else does, I'm sorry. You need to go to music school or something other, or let me teach you. I'll show you the way.
This is what I think. I think that metal music right now, which we're not metal, we're hard rock. Everything sounds the same. You go to the radio, listen to Octane, listen to any of these other stations. Everything sounds the same. It's like screaming here, screaming there, a couple melodies here and there. We're just a dirty rock band, and that hasn't been done in a long time. And
no.
You got Dirty Honey that's out there right now. They got that sleazy thing going on. I'm trying to think of what other bands have that sleaze thing going on, but that's no one's doing it. No one's doing sleaze rock anymore, and that's we might be in the right spot.
I announced this earlier, and I'm glad you mentioned about different flavors of metal and rock and things like that, because I'm bringing back my online radio show. Yeah. So I want to have a diversity of rock, metal, pop, punk, stuff like that, old school punk. And I'm looking for those bands right now to put them on the air. So if nobody will play them, I will.
Good. That's good. We need people like you.
Yeah, because I just, hey, look, these bands that are working their ass off to get like you guys are doing to make it, they start out, and you guys start out just the same way as Warhammer, Metallica.
Yeah. Yep.
AC/DC. Some just had more luckier path to be playing in a bar like CBGBs and stuff, but those days are out the window.
Yeah.
So, I want to be that voice for you guys and gals. So I'll do my best. That's for sure.
We could use someone like you, and hopefully there's more like you out there, because we need the voice, and we need the ears. So,
is the band adding anything differently on this EP musically than what fans are going to be accustomed to, possibly?
I don't think anything new. I think it's just we're just a raw rock and roll band. We're Rahway, giving it to you the raw effing way. So it's, as my singer Nick would say at every show, we're just raw. We're just raw. There's nothing electronic about us. There's nothing. You'll never see backup tracks at live shows. We're just raw. You hear a screw up, that's probably a screw up. That's it. We're just a raw rock band. So there's not gonna be anything new on there except for new songs. That's all I can give you.
Yeah, but you know what, man? How many people are actually going to know that you got screwed up live on stage? Not many. Not unless it's really bad. Not unless somebody sets a real list to your music. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, we cover it up really well.
Do you feel, though, this new EP has to come out swinging for this band after the pandemic and after everything you guys have been through?
Yeah, I think it does. I think that Slum Lords in New Jersey did that for us. It was something new. It was freshly out of the pandemic. Actually, it was in the middle of the pandemic. We actually released right in the middle of the pandemic for that EP. We came out with a song. We were supposed to come out with a song called Stone, but we were on lockdown, so none of us could be with each other. So what we did was we ended up filming at our houses, and we did like a Zoom style video for a song called Sugar. And it was a ballad. It was about being inside and seeing the outside world. So we invited all of our friends. We put it on our Facebook page and said, hey, we need you to sing this chorus. If you would send us back a video of you singing this chorus. We got, I think, over 200 videos of people singing the chorus. And it was awesome because you had people singing this chorus. It was celebrities. It was people from the band Fozzy, Don Jameson from that metal show, people from radio stations were actually singing the choruses. It made this video. I think we got over like 25,000 or maybe 100,000 streams for this video. It just went over really well, and that was the catalyst for us becoming more successful with Slumlords in New Jersey, because the next video was even bigger, and we were actually able to film that video together. That was the video for a song called Stone.
This band had to overcome the adversity of releasing this 5-song EP, the Slumlords of New Jersey, during that pandemic. I mean, how difficult was it to just sit there with it and just do little things that you could do at that time, and just saying, "Oh, do we need to release this now?" I mean, what's going on? Because I mean, when you put something out, you got to tour on it. You got to tour. You got to pump out stuff. How difficult was that for you all?
It was very difficult in the aspect of the fact that we, like you said, we couldn't go out and play shows. But my idea with our manager and Dave was to make sure that we stayed relevant, because people, if they don't see you, out of sight, out of mind, right? So we kept on like putting out content out there. We do like live videos to let our fans who like the band know that we're still here. We're gonna come out and play. Then when we were able to get together, we do like live performances from the studio. For people who would watch Facebook Live or something like that. There was one guy that yelled at us for it. He's like, "Oh, you guys are being irresponsible for getting together." And I was like, "Dude, relax. I'm friends with anyone. It doesn't matter."
Yeah, it's a pandemic, fool.
Yeah. So I mean, we're comfortable with each other enough to know that we were like family. So we got into a studio together. We shot some like live footage just for the fans to see that we're still playing and we haven't forgotten about them either. And in a time where people were like locked in their houses, didn't want to go out or couldn't go out, they had us to rely on for entertainment. So
here's $1 million question, and I've asked this to every band that's come on here that's been up and coming. Should up and coming bands, Chigger, take advantage to get their music out during the pandemic, like the streaming live shows or doing collabs? I mean, to me, if I was a young band, I want to do everything possible, because I think the pandemic was an even playing field. Unless you was a big national touring band, you were fine.
Sure.
But
no, I think that it was the best time to do it. And that's why we did it. We did it. We tried to stay relevant through this. A lot of bands fell apart because they said, "Oh, well, we're not going to play. We haven't practiced in a while. Let's just call it a day." Some bands, thrive through it. I mean, look at, I don't know if you follow like Anthrax, but Charlie Benante, he put something together with a bunch of other guys, and they did Kiss covers, and they did it on Zoom. It sounded great. So I mean, like, there's stuff like that. I mean, the pandemic just opened a whole new world up to the music world. Because of that, a lot of bands and musicians thrived, and it just opened up a whole new can of worms.
That's true. And I still think they should be taking advantage of it today. I mean, just because everything's open back up. Yeah. I think you should do at least one live stream, maybe once every 2 months. And I feel that. I honestly feel that, because social media is so big now, and it's at your fingertips, the getting out there.
Yeah.
What led the track Carry You to be the first song released off this album or EP? What was it about that you said, well, this has to go up first?
What's funny is that we were gonna, the video that's coming out after Rocketship, that was gonna be the first single. but then it wasn't ready. It wasn't ready yet. We were still fine tuning it. The song that was ready was Carry You. So we went to the drawing board and we said, do we just release Carry You? I mean, is this the right song? And we all agreed that it was still a strong lead-off song. And we put it out there, and it responded the way it did, and we're really happy with it. So
sometimes, man, things are just meant to be.
Yeah, it drives. That song just drives. That Yep. It just drives. I love it.
Get your toes tapping, as they say.
Yeah, exactly.
It does.
The toe tapper.
Was there a track for this EP that totally ended up sounding different than what it was intended to? Was there one that kept changing or no?
Trying to think if there was. If anything, we wrote a ballad. It's called Ought to Know. I think that might have changed a few times. Still, I don't know. I hate ballads, but I shouldn't probably say that. I probably shouldn't say that, but I'm not a big fan of ballads. I'm a hard rock guy. I just like like it hard. I like it, like you said, toe tapping, panty dropping, whatever. So I think that might have gone through a few changes. Rocketship actually went through a couple changes too, but I think that once we finally came up with that end part, we were like, yeah, that's the way it's got to be. It reminds me of Rush, that part. I don't know why. Tom Sawyer always comes to mind whenever we play that part. It just rocks that part. So
I know these songs are your guys' babies. I understand that completely, and you're attached to them. I know that. But any track standing out more to you than any right now on this EP, possibly?
My favorite has been Carry You for a long time. So I was happy that was the first single. But the hook on Drowning, which is the next single coming out after Rocketship, wow, you're not going to be able to get out of your head. You're really hot. I mean, Rocketship is one. Rocketship, that hook. Let's look at the star. Let's look at the moon. Let's sit with the stars. All that stuff. It's so catchy. Like my brother. I just went to Florida. Drove down to Florida. My brother-in-law was. I literally heard my brother-in-law humming that on the way down. And I go, "Are you singing Rocketship?" He goes, "Yeah, man." He's like, I can't get out of my head. I'm like, all right, we got a winner. We got a winner there. So I would have to say, Drowning. The first three singles are their songs.
That's all right. That's all right. It is what it is.
That's so lame, isn't it?
It happens, man. It ain't no big deal.
Like Tommy Lee said, I love them all.
Yeah. Any songs that did not make this EP so far, we can see on another EP album, or maybe just a one-off single down the road, possibly.
Well, like I said, what we do is we wrote all the songs that were for this EP.
Mm-hmm.
There were no leftovers.
Right.
For some reason, we just have this knack of like writing these songs and then just putting them all on. There's never been anything left out. If anything, we added Cage the Animal because we wanted to redo it. On the first record, we added Paul McCartney's Jet at the last minute just to have an extra song in there. So, I mean, we're just putting songs out. I mean, the original idea was to just put them all out as singles. But then we were advised, put it out as an EP. This way you have something to sell at shows. Even if they become coasters or something like that, just sell a CD at a show because people want to take something home sometimes. So that's the idea. So now it's become a CD, an EP.
Is the track listing placement important for your album or your EP releases? Are they important or no?
I think to a certain extent, I think it is. I think it's especially placing that ballad somewhere, like towards the end or something. Because I'm the product of the 80s, so I grew up with like the cassette tapes. You had the A side and the B side. And
Yes,
all
sir.
the best songs were on the A side. Then you flip the tape over, and the B side had like a couple good songs and a ballad. So I always put our best songs forward on the first 4 or 5 tracks will be the best songs on the CD. So placement is important to me, to answer your question.
Dude, I wore out Appetite for Destruction when I got hit on cassette. I wore 3 of those things out. I mean,
Twisted Sister Stay Hungry for me.
there you go. Loved getting those cassettes, man. The way they smell when you open it up, popped it in. It's like, oh God, listen to that song.
yeah. I mean, I get it. I used to do that with CDs too. Just smell the little booklet inside.
Same here, man. Same here.
Sit on the toilet and read that.
Oh man. Oh God. What's the nucleus that keeps this band moving right along and still creating Rahway's music still today? What's that nucleus with you guys that this band, I want to move forward?
It's the 4 of us. I mean, like I said, we got into this together. Once I joined the band, we did this. We said, I said, I'm not joining this band unless you guys are serious. I'm not gonna just waste my time. They said, no, we're serious. We want to move forward with this. and that's what we did. So it's the four of us together. No one's let up. We're brothers. At the end of the day, we have our fights. We have our I'm gonna quit, but we never do. And at the end of the day, we always kiss and make up. And the Cardenas brothers, Dave and Steve, are actual brothers. Nick came in later in the bit, and he came in later after like 2 or 3 singers. There's a guy named Manny Cabo who was on The Voice. He was the original singer for Rahway. So if you look him up, his name is Manny Cabo. He's on The Voice. He used to be the singer of Rahway. But so 3 singers later, 3 or 4 singers later, here comes Nick Hade, our singer that's right now. Before me, there was another bass player named Bobby. He was with the Cardenas brothers for a long time. But then he left and moved to Florida, and they asked me to join. And it's been the 4 of us ever since. So we're the nucleus. I mean, and then we have a manager who is constantly pushing us, and he's the 5th member of the band, really. So
I got to know though, what's been that most heated discussion the band has had over a song, name of an EP, or how the album tracks should be placed on the album EP? How? Let's talk about that. What's been that most heated discussion, possibly?
Actually, one of the most heated discussions was a gig that we got offered, and I think our drummer didn't want to play it or couldn't play it. That was the most heated discussion. But when it comes to like album titles, I think that Dave, our guitar player, doesn't like any of my titles or ideas, but I don't care. I just keep giving them anyway. And he doesn't like he's not really big on this Sounds of Spanktown, but the rest of the band is, because they love the history behind it. He wanted to call the band, and I can't wait till he sees this interview, but he wanted to call the band Bomb. Oh. And I said, that's such a bad name. He goes, why? It's full of hits. I go, how do you know they're hits? They haven't been played yet. No one's here. No one's listening to them. So we shot his idea down, and our manager came up with the name Spanktown, and I go, oh, that's phenomenal. I go, after he told me the history, I'm like, yes, that's the name of it. So that's where it comes from.
You guys need shirts that says I've been to Spanktown.
Right? Isn't that a great name?
It is. I just sit here and I laugh about it. I smile. I'm going to Spanktown. Yeah.
There's
so many things you can do with that.
Yes, I agree.
Good call. Good call, manager. Good call.
It's a marketing
idea. High five, sir. What do you hope everyone takes away while listening to this upcoming new EP, or just Rahway's music in general, man? What do you hope they get from it?
I think that I want people to walk away just singing the songs, singing it over and over and over again. I think that if they're dancing, even better. I've seen people. We have a song called "Pain in My Ass" that I remember seeing us. We play it live, and I just see girls just dancing to it. And to me, that's the best thing in the world. When you see, some people say, "Oh, I love it when people sing our lyrics back." I love seeing girls just dance to our songs.
Do you still get that rush, man? Still today, when you take that stage as you did the first time, does it still hit you hard?
To me, it's now it's become more of a labor of love, like a job. I love we love entertaining people. It's the first time I ever played a stage. I must have been like 18 years old. I turn around. I didn't know what to expect. I was facing the drummer. I turn around, and there's 400 people in front of me. I'm like, whoa! I almost pissed my pants. so nerve-wracking. But I've grown since then. I've come a long way.
Hey, at least your first show wasn't Moscow 91 of like Metallica being and just seeing nothing but rows and rows, a sea of people.
Yeah. So, I'm looking forward to that too.
One day, sir. One day, yeah. Chigger. One day.
Yeah.
If you could write an album equivalent to your favorite band's album, which album would that be? What album would you want to write for Rahway that would be just like something that's equivalent to your favorite album?
Too Fast for Love.
Too Fast for Love, Motley Crue. Wow. Yeah. Okay.
It's definitely one of my favorite records of all time. It's raw. It's got a punk feel to it. It's the grooves, that rawness, and the Tommy Lee's drums. It's just, It's very reminiscent to what we're doing now. It's just they are a huge influence on this band, as is Led Zeppelin, Guns N' Roses. Obviously, Dave has a very Slash feel to him. Let's see, Kiss is a huge influence. Velvet Revolver, bands like Skid Row, obviously, bands like that. So, but the one CD that I've always wanted to recreate, or just like even like write something that sounded like it would be Too Fast for Love.
But you gotta have the cover of the Abominable Snowman that's off of Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer as Vince Neil. See if anybody catches that, because every time I see that dude, I laugh my ass off.
I know. That is
I
fun.
lose it. Ah. Oh my god. Oh shit.
It's not going to get any better for him, unfortunately. But I mean, they're Motley Crue. I still love them. What are you going to do?
They're coming out with a new album supposedly with John 5
Yeah.
on guitar. I'm anxious to hear what it sounds like.
Yeah,
We'll see.
It's going to sound like Motley Crue, I think. I mean, John 5 might add a lot to the mix, but we'll see. I saw him. I saw them on his second show, and he sounded great. He's not Mick Mars, but he sounded great.
Sure, yeah. Nobody's gonna be Mick Mars, man.
No, poor Mick.
Yeah. I don't even know what to say about that right now.
They're doing him dirty. They're doing him dirty for sure.
Yeah, that goes the brotherhood out the freaking window, huh?
Yeah. Yeah.
What's been your most memorable show that the band has been a part of that you still can't believe you guys were possibly?
I would have to say, and it sounds weird to say this, but we did open for Greta Van Fleet at the FM Kirby Center in Wilkes-Barre. We were thrown a bone. They said, "Oh, we need a first of 3 for Greta Van Fleet." I'm like, "Yeah, we'll do it."
Heck yeah.
This is when they were first coming out. Sold out show. The place absolutely freaking loved us, to the point where, as we were walking back to the dressing room, the guys from Greta Van Fleet were giving us a standing ovation. They had their dressing room doors open, and they just stood at their door and then we're like, "What? You're clapping for us?" They go, "Dude, you guys are phenomenal." We're like, "Thank you." We're like, we couldn't believe that they were thanking us. There was that, and we were also part of like a bunch of festivals. The Rockin' Derby up in Schaghticoke, New York, and in Jersey here, there was something called the Rock Carnival that had like Godsmack, Alice in Chains, Skid Row, Slash played. So that, to us, that was also another huge show for us. But the Greta Van Fleet one really sticks out.
If you could be a member in an iconic band and play one of their legendary shows, which band would it be and what show would it be possibly?
It's Motley Crue.
Oh, here we go.
I would never take Nikki Sixx's place, but it'd be Motley Crue, Moscow Peace Festival. I think that was 1989. I think I would have been 16 years old.
All right, Chigger, how can folks stay in touch with you guys, buy these 2 new singles, and plus buy this 6-song EP that's coming out in autumn? How can they do that, sir?
So, RahwayBand.com is the best way to find all of our merchandise. The singles are on Spotify, and then the EP will be available on RahwayBand.com as well. All the news about Rahway is on Facebook and Instagram. We have a new social media guy who's been killing it with content. So we're constantly putting new things up all the time, staying relevant. And we can only attribute to him with all this content that we're getting our followers ship up. But we're very responsive. So if you send us a message, we'll respond like pretty immediately.
And I'm also going to put all these links down here in this description when it goes out to YouTube. So that way nobody can say, I don't know where to go get it. Just hit the show more under the description. It has everything listed there under the sun for this band. And that I hope I help out. That's for sure. So before I let you go, would you care to do a promo for my show?
Sure. What's up? This is Chigger from the band Rahway, and you're listening to BODS Mayhem Hour.
Everybody stick around. We got some great stuff coming up, and you only hear these interviews right here on BODS Mayhem Hour. Please check out our Facebook page. There's a podcast link and that YouTube link that you want to go subscribe to if you like what I do, and I hope you guys and gals do, because I take pride and I love what I do, introducing you guys to these bands. Love it. Do me a favor and also do Chigger a big favor. Go check out Rahway. Buy these 2 singles. Buy the new singles getting ready to come out in the autumn. Buy the previous single or EP that's out right now. Just give this band a fair shot. And plus, I'm donning myself the mayor of Spanktown. So, and I done called it. I done called it, Chigger. Nobody else in the band, I called it. So done.
I endorse this message.
That's right. I did not inhale. I did not inhale. No form of fashion. I did not. But anyway, thank you for doing this interview with me, my man. And I wish you guys nothing but the best of luck from here on out.
Thank you for taking us on, and we really appreciate the support.
You're listening to BODS Mayhem Hour.
Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.